Good evening and welcome to the 56th International Vocal Competition LiedDuo in s-Hertogenbosch. My name is Anna Trombetta and I will be your online presenter for this year's vocal competition. We're so excited to have everyone both online and in the hall, and we hope that you'll join us every night this week for all of our live streams, including October 15th at 4 o'clock for the finals of this year's competition. The opening concert is set to begin soon. The public is in the hall, as you can see. The performers have been rehearsing throughout the day, and we have some fun extras for you after the concert, so stick around and make sure you don't miss that. The semifinals of this year's competition will be right here in the Statenzaal in the Noord-Brabants Museum, starting October 11th, tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and October 12th at 7 o'clock. You can set an event reminder for both of these events on YouTube, so you definitely don't miss it. Tonight, though, the opening concert. The first performance will be of Vermeer's Gold, the 2021 compulsory piece written by Bart Visman and Marc Pantus, performed by the winner of the Veronese Prize, which is given to the best interpretation of this piece, soprano Sophia Burgos and pianist Hans Eijsackers. Hans will then accompany mezzo-soprano Linsey Coppens on this year's compulsory piece entitled Veronese's Green, also composed by Bart Visman and librettist Marc Pantus. Visman and Pantus gave us some wonderful insight and context into Vermeer's Gold in an interview that we did in 2021. So please go and check out that interview if you have the time after the live stream, of course. The bulk of this evening's performance will be by jury member and composer Errollyn Wallen, who will be performing selections from her songbook, the Errollyn Wallen Songbook. Like I said, we have some awesome extras for you after the concert, including an interview with composer Errollyn Wallen herself and a conversation between incoming IVC director Andrew Watts and outgoing IVC director Ivan van Kontouts. They're ready to start in the hall. I can feel it. So I wish you guys a wonderful evening. Happy listening.
Thank you. I'm not a singer, you know. I'm just the chair of the board of IVC, and on behalf of IVC, a warm welcome to everybody. It's nice to see that we have a full house tonight. It's always nice in this beautiful hall. And well, a special welcome, of course, to the participants, to the juries, our sponsors, the host families, the volunteers, and all the friends who are here, and all the people who are in some way connected with IVC. And it's thrilling to notice how many people are connected with IVC. They're not all here tonight, but they will be here on several occasions this week. And we also hope that we will have a beautiful week, a beautiful competition with high-level participants. I didn't hear them yet, but I heard so. So I'm looking forward to this evening. And this is the first competition under the direction, the artistic direction, I have to say, of Andrew Watts. Of course, you have noticed already that Ivan left us. He became the artistic director of the Opera of Lisbon. And I must confess that the moment we heard that he was going to leave us, we thought, oh my God, this is really a problem. But we are very fortunate to find Andrew willing to be here and to be our new artistic director. General and artistic director, I have to say. Yeah, we discussed the title, but now it is general and artistic director. So, this is Andrew. Andrew is a singer himself, and well, that gives different perspectives. And I think that's nice because, we had 6 years with Ivan, and we will go on that on Sunday. We have the farewell party for Ivan on Sunday, and then we will have speeches and so on. But now it's just, Ivan, and we have Andrew. And, Andrew, the first thing he said, IVC is world famous, but whoever in Den Bosch knows IVC? And we heard that more, so that's, we are going to work on it, let's say that. And Andrew will explain his plans, of course, but let's say one thing, we will connect with the community, with amateur singers, with children, and Andrew has very nice plans for that. It are challenging times for us because we have to set up our applications for the subsidies, and next year it's okay, but the years after next year, we don't know, and we hope that our sponsors will be willing to support us again, and because we are worth. That's what I say for tonight. I think I give the floor to Andrew, but after wishing you a very nice evening for tonight and a very beautiful week in the competition, and I hope to see you on several occasions again. Andrew, the floor is yours.
Bedankt Winnie voor je vriendelijke woorden. Bear with me. Goedenavond allemaal. Het is een goed genoegen om alle hier vanavond te mogen verwelkomen voor de 56 IVC-wedstrijd in de categorie LiedDuo. Ik ben zo opgewonden dat ik deze avond met jullie allemaal kan delen. As an international singer, and now as the new general and artistic director of the IVC, it's a very exciting time for me to witness this awesome, and I mean that, awesome organization from within. Having previously served on the opera and oratorio jury in 2018, and given masterclasses earlier this year with Rosemary Joshua and the great Marguerite Honig. The IVC has been in existence for nearly 70 years. And next year, in 2024, we will be celebrating its 70th birthday during our opera and oratorio competition. This will be a real celebration of music and the vocal arts along everything that the IVC stands for. Please make sure to save your dates in your calendar. Alongside the competition, we will have concerts featuring previous winners of the IVC competition, masterclasses by the jury members, including Dame Gwyneth Jones, Michael Chance, and a workshop with conducting students of Marin Alsop, who will also be joining us with a program entitled What is Opera Really About and How Do We Communicate It? We have a seminar from Opera Europa, and the World Federation of International Music Competitions will also be having their annual meeting here at the same time in Den Bosch. Together with the Gentlemen's Club of Den Bosch, Der Zweite Arend, will be hosting a seminar of the future of opera with speakers including the artistic director of Glyndebourne himself, Mr. Stephen Langridge. The dates are, now pay attention very carefully to this, the dates are the 27th of September to the 5th of October 2024. I look forward to seeing you all there. We also will be having a very special performance from our local choirs together with our emerging IVC soloists who will be joining that evening. Please do not miss it. The IVC is much more than just another competition. It's a network of partners, colleagues and friends who help to discover, to develop and to deliver some of the greatest singers to the world in the genre of opera, oratorio and song. It is an organisation that continues to go that extra mile for all its young artists and to showcase their talents here for the people of Den Bosch and for Brabant. It is an organisation that values its public, its sponsors, its funders, its amazing friends network and host families, its volunteers and its board, many of whom are here this evening. On behalf of the IVC, can I thank you? Please give yourself a nice round of applause. I must add that I'm personally very grateful to my predecessor, Ivan, who has guided me generously through this period of transition for the IVC with grace, insight, and a lot of laughter. And this week is the culmination of much of his hard work. We will have the time later in the week to thank him for his 6 years of work with the IVC, and we wish him well in his new role as artistic director of one of the most beautiful houses in the world, the San Carlos in Lisbon. The IVC is not about this general and artistic director trying to steal the limelight and making speeches. It's about a team. It's about my team. I am incredibly lucky to have one of the best teams working with me here in the IVC. Leonie, Edwin, Ariana, Los, and Teddy the dog, not to forget him. None of this would be possible without your hard work, intelligence, and real dedication to all that the IVC stands for. I thank you. And now to the welcomes. It's a great pleasure to welcome our esteemed jury to the competition, some old friends and some new friends. When I say old, you know what I mean, Bo. A collection of the finest artists working in this industry today, with their president, baritone Bo Scofus, together with mezzo-soprano Sophia Burgos, pianist and artistic leader Nino Gavazzese, composer Errollyn Wallen, pianist and conductor Stefan Vlada, and pianist and artistic leader Hans Eijsackers. You are most welcome. So finally, to those we've all come to listen to, the singers and pianists whose consummate displays of artistry will enchant and beguile us throughout the week. We welcome you and hope that you have the greatest time with us throughout this competition. If, as a singer, I were to offer you any advice, it would be this. Take time to appreciate your surroundings, take time to make friends, take time to listen, time to learn, and above all, seize the day. Go forward in the competition, and above all, just have some fun. In the eyes of the IVC, you are already winners, having got this far, and I, for one, am very excited to watch the progress of each of you throughout the week. Be present, find your joy in what you do, and I wish you the greatest luck. The IVC expects the competition participants to focus their sound to maximize their voices. And in the same way, it is my vision to encourage and enable the IVC to focus all its efforts and use its collective voice to make a real difference to the cultural landscape both home and abroad. We will position the IVC at the center of local, national, and international arts organizations. It will continue and grow to be a force for good, but it will need all our collective efforts, every one of us. Globally, arts and culture are in the midst of a huge battle, and all of us who are living and working within this sector are acutely aware that our very existence is threatened. Local and national government have moved priorities away from the arts and culture, and as a consequence, all organizations are having to compete for the tiniest share of the ever-decreasing funding pool. Educationally, the arts, culture, and music are being squeezed out of the curriculum, and the uptake of those wanting to study these subjects is falling fast. The IVC will educate a new generation about music and singing. We will establish a support network for the teachers, for the students. We will provide resources for the professional and the local enthusiast alike. And we will always enable the best singers to progress in their careers with all the energy and drive that the IVC has to offer. The IVC will continue to develop and grow, and our new vision for the coming years draws on a wealth of experience from across the globe. We will engage with the local population at grassroots level. We will nurture the children, inspire the youth, and provide all those with an interest in the vocal arts an opportunity to experience it at its highest levels. We will seek out and present the best singers. We will curate cultural programs that will simply become the must-see events. And we will set the route by which others can only hope to follow. The Dutch philosopher Baruch Spinoza said, "When the action is intrinsically compelling, good music enhances it. When events are droll or disappointing, good music provides a ray of light. In all its activities, the IVC provides great music and is that shining ray of light." I really hope you have a great evening, a fantastic week, and thank you all so much for coming. I'm not going to talk anymore, I promise. So we now move on to the reason we're here, to hear some wonderful music. And we're going to begin with Vermeer's Gold by Bart Visman, which we're very excited you're here with us, and Marc Pantus. Thank you so much for these pieces. I've just got to hear them and learn them and appreciate them, and I think they're absolutely beautiful, so thank you so much. I would like to invite, firstly, Sophia Burgos to start with Vermeer's Gold, followed by Linsey Coppens with Veronese's Green. Thank you.
To stand here, did not trip coming down the stairway. Pretend I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. I smiled at the audience. I know the song. The song is not about me. What is there to say about me? But the song still needs me. Lying prohibited in the auditorium. The teachers do not know, the judges do not know, the accompanist does not know, you do not know, no one knows. The teachers do not do it, judges do not do it, accompanists do not do it, you do not do it, I do it. Listen here, don't wait to practice lying. I learned it far too late myself. To the accompanist, the choir, the orchestra, the critics, the acoustics, the choir, the audience, orchestra, the critics, piano. here I have a purpose. See, there is a cross here upon the floor. Here it is. This is a safe place. This is where I must be. The song is not about me, but it cannot do without me. I am here. I am And so it started. This is my song. This is my song. I must tell my family again that they should not sit in the first row when they come listen. This is my stage. These are comfortable shoes. This is my voice. This is my voice. Where can they be? First they beg me for tickets, and then they don't even show up. This song is my song. This stage is my stage. My voice, and this way is the way it ought to be. My song, my voice. Oh, that's where they are. That went well. I never manage it at all. But with you here, oh, don't you know? But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. How they should don't cry now. Just sing a little louder. Till yesterday I thought that today I would wake up as somebody else, someone who can, someone called Rostovsky, Janet Baker, Renee Fleming. Or insert your own example here, but one with 4 syllables. You hope for a transformation, but stay, you're all the How would I ever have thought that these shoes would be comfortable? So you stuck with me now, and so am I, by the way. This song is my song, and this stage is my stage, my voice, and this way is the way it ought to be. I must tell my family again that they should not sit in the first row when they can listen. Veronese. And my singing belongs. It belongs like the grain of
Very much. Exquisite, both of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the work, and I look forward to the next song. It's a great honor now to introduce somebody I've known for 30 years. We're still only 25. My first professional engagement as a singer on leaving the Royal Academy of Music was to go and do an experimental opera program with English National Opera, where these composers write these pieces and we just sing them. And there was this extraordinary woman who is one of the good people, a really special human, and she's here to share some of her work this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Errollyn Wallen.
it's a real thrill to be here, can I just say? And what I'll be performing for you tonight are some songs from the Errollyn Wallen songbook. But the story of this songbook is that having studied composition, never sung, after leaving university, a day came and I just started, songs seemed to spill out. But I was too nervous to sing them in public. But, and in fact, I haven't performed, I've been so busy composing, I haven't actually performed for a few years. But the thing about these songs is that they're like a little holiday for my composing. They were written for my own pleasure, but over the years, other singers now sing them. And it's such a delight, but it's one of the things gives me great joy. And I'm so happy to see that, I mean, I studied a master's degree, and in the whole 2 years, we were never set a song to sing, which is incredible. But now, composers are really, really enthralled with the human voice, and it's fantastic, like what we've just heard. So anyway, without any more fuss, I'm going to sing 5 songs, then I'll play a little piano piece. The first song is one of the first songs I ever wrote, called What Shall I Sing? Sing, sing, what shall I sing? This heart has turned into a pudding string. Ooh. Cry high, high, no more to be done. Though the sea has been entered and a journey begun. as I can. Thank you. And you might have noticed in that song, it draws a lot from jazz and blues, but I studied classical music, and after leaving university, I played in bands as a keyboard player, but the fact is I was steeped in classical music, so I had to learn all this other music, but now I just love the blues, so it forms a lot of what I do. The next song is a song with a very alarming title. It's called My Hitler. But with a lot of my songs, I imagine situations, real or imagined. And this one, I was thinking about Eva Braun and thinking about how easy it is to be deluded by somebody's character and to be so wrapped up and so obsessed that we can't see the whole person. But it wouldn't melt in your mouth. Sunshine only streams from you. When I look at you, they say love is blind. But now I see. First I couldn't sleep, then I couldn't eat at all. Thought the world was ours alone. People said, pull yourself together, you know this foolishness can't surely last. Not me. I feel so fine, but it wouldn't melt in your mouth. Sunshine only streams from you. When I look at you, they say love is blind. First I couldn't sleep, then I couldn't eat at all. Thought the world was ours alone. People said, pull yourself together, you know this foolishness can't surely last. No way. I feel so fine. Now I see. Thank you. The next song again has a funny title. It's called Jesus on a Train, and why not? But the thing is that in life, the thing about songs is, as we have already heard in the magnificent first half, that in 3 or 4 minutes you can just capture an atmosphere or a situation. And I think as a composer, I've written really big, long works, but the thing about a song is that it takes you immediately somewhere. And this came about after being on a train and thinking about how we take it for granted that things will always be the same today as they were yesterday and will be the same tomorrow, and how grateful we are when you stop and think about grace and the fact that, we are here right now. So this is called Jesus on a Train. this place I'm in, rolling land, reminds me that I can fall from grace. Half this world will eat their sandwiches, so confident that life was and shall remain so sure, so sure. The middle of the night finds him crying, and the stone is covered in blood, chortled hands from bullets raining down, and so hungry. And while you talk, I see pain buried deep in your lips, and on your hand gold tells me nothing about love. Still we're sure, so sure. Sure, so sure.
Welcome everyone to the Gele Zaal, the Yellow Hall of the Noord-Brabants Museum. As the concert continues in the Statenzaal just next door, I am here with Errollyn Wallen, one of the judges on the panel this year at the IVC LiedDuo. Errollyn Wallen is a singer, a composer, a performer, a Renaissance woman of British contemporary music, at least according to The Observer, a musical tour de force by any measurement. Errollyn, thank you so much for being here with us in Den Bosch.
It's fantastic to be. I've just arrived and it's the most charming place.
It is. It's such a gorgeous city. I come from Amsterdam, so I really appreciate the much stiller life here. Having composed for basically every sort of ensemble that exists.
Except bagpipe.
A new challenge. What inspires you to look at vocal work, since we're here for LiedDuo, either LiedDuo, opera, choir?
You know, I believe the voice is the source of everything. Even the speaking voice, it's about communication. But any voice, trained or untrained, has its own unique timbre, nuances, and it conveys, I'd say, the ultimate, the maximum. With just one or two notes in a voice, it can tell you so much about somebody's personality.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So what drew you to music in the first place? I've seen some other interviews that you've given. You weren't necessarily raised with so much music in the house. What drew you to music and composing?
Well, actually, there was a lot of music in the house, but because my father had a beautiful voice and he liked to play jazz records and a whole mixture of things, calypso. But the idea of being a composer or being a professional musician was never in my mind. But it's funny, some of the first things I composed were songs, like a song for my sisters and me to sing, to walk to school and back. And then I made a little, so I was about 9. And when I was at school, at my little school, there was a poem I set called Frogs and Toads, and I told everybody in the class what to play and what to sing. But I couldn't really, I don't think I wrote it down, but I knew what they had to do.
Sure.
So music's always been a very, very natural part of me, to the point that it took me a while to realise I was a composer, because I was already doing it, And to this day, it's important for me to keep that same attitude.
Okay, yeah, stay curious about it, keep it sort of light in that
and
way.
that everybody can compose. It's just a question of refining your ear, but it's a very natural thing for me, and I'm always composing in my head, and it's a bit of a drag, because you can never switch off. Because I'm always thinking about thinking about a piece or old pieces, how to improve this. So I'm writing a piece now for orchestra, and then I have to write a violin concerto, and I feel restless because I keep thinking about them, you know what I mean? But it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
It's a lovely life.
So, since there's lots of young artists here in the competition, I'm wondering how you sort of navigated your young artist time, if we can call it that.
From moving from, say, school days to then studying. Oh, what a lovely sound. We can keep that in there. As I say, school. But, it was so hard breaking into the industry without any contacts. I'd say, I remember that time, say, being about 17, I had no idea how you would
go about doing
nothing.
That.
And, many, because I'm in music now, I see how many of my friends with children, I see how helpful they can be. They can take them to the right teacher. It does mean that I know I really wanted to do it, because I was determined to find a way. Certainly the first thing is to get the very best education you can, and that education never stops. You must always be pushing yourself to see where your gaps are, as an artist. And so I think if you have that attitude and that level of commitment, it's a matter of time before you can connect with people. It's important to be around other people who are equally committed.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that difficult at times, that constant drive for improving yourself, as it were? Do you ever have times when you're like, I wish I just was there,
Well, I'm a lazy person. I feel I'm lazy, but I seem to write all this music, but I don't know how. But you know how I remind myself every day? I'll sit down, maybe play a Bach 2-part invention, a fugue, and I say, that is the standard. But it's not just the standard of excellence, it's a standard of inquiry, curiosity, adventurousness. So that's what's important to keep. The attitude of really being open and fresh.
Adventure, I like that word. I like that. So I have your program here for, tonight, I guess. There are some very interesting titles.
Yes.
And I was wondering if you could give us some insight into any of them. I don't know if you want to see it, but could you give us some insight into either one piece, the program as a whole, the songbook?
Yes, I will, because I forget my own titles. For example, what I find interesting about some of these titles, they were written from my imagination, and then the real thing happened years later. For example, there's a song called North, and it was about the feeling of wanting to be as far north as possible. But now I live at the far north of the United Kingdom, in a lighthouse in the very, very, very north of Scotland. And I think, wow, that song, my life followed the song. And there's another one called The Lighthouse. Well, I didn't know I was going to live in a lighthouse, so there we go.
Wow.
There's one that I'm very fond of. It's called Meet Me at Harold Moore's. And Harold Moore's was a record shop, and it was amazing, where they kept all kinds of recordings, things that out of, that weren't available anymore.
Oh, sure.
And it was a real collector's shop. And a dear friend who, when I knew him, he was very sick with multiple sclerosis. But I asked him to describe what his perfect day would be, and he would want to go into Harold Moore's. And so the song describes everything he would do in a perfect day if he were well. So I'm very fond. I don't, and the thing is, I'm composing so much, I haven't performed really regularly for years now. So this concert is very important to me. And then it's the added pressure of singing in front of trained singers, because I'm not a trained singer at all. Mm-hmm. But these songs were written, they were so personal, they started to appear, and then it took time to perform them in public, but it's as if it's this marvellous holiday from composing. So everything I write is just a bit like writing a diary, it just comes out. Wow, and they're short, and they gradually, I've written more and more of them, and some of them are in the Errollyn Wallen songbook. Mm-hmm. But the other thing that's happened in the last, say, 5 years, is that, classically trained singers, opera singers, are singing these songs, which is very amazing to me. It's very different than writing. So I've just written a song cycle for Dame Sarah Connolly. She's just last Sunday gave the world premiere of it. But that was specifically writing for her, and you would describe them as more art songs. Mm-hmm. These are somewhere in between. They definitely use blues and jazz, and then classical.
Is that bizarre to hear it in a classically trained voice, or we're hoping that people would,
well, it's slightly strange because, when I perform as well, I change things up, I improvise. But what I like about talking to classical singer, or any singer, that they've made up their own, they connect with the text, and and the song means something very special to them. And certainly every one of my songs are they're capturing something quite intense in my life, or an observation, or so, for example, Jesus on a Train, it's that thing of describing looking out, on a journey, any journey, and thinking about time moving, but the way we ordinary things, we expect them just to be, everything to stay constant. We take it for granted, life. And then something big and momentous can happen, and then we're taken aback. But it's that thing about how lucky we are just to
be here?
Yes, kind of thing. But how we can't help it. We, as human beings, we love our routine, mm-hmm. and we just take it, I just come off on the plane. We take it for granted, the plane it won't crash. We'll just, life goes on, and then something happens to remind us that we are mortal. Yeah, to bring you back, put you in the present. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me, especially after just flying in, both today and yesterday, apparently. Toi 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 for the concert tonight and for the rest of the week on the panel. Thank you so much to Errollyn Wallen for sitting with me, and I hope you enjoyed the first few pieces from her performance tonight at the opening concert of the 56th International Vocal Competition, LiedDuo. As a jury member, she is an integral part of the competition. Without her, there would be no competition. But what about the people behind the scenes, the team behind the IVC? Without them, there would be no competition to hold. And it's a very special year for the IVC. Incoming director Andrew Watts is taking over for outgoing director Ivan van Kalmthout, who's off to Lisbon, Portugal, to be the artistic director of the National Opera Theatre there. The 56th competition is this year, but it's the first time that a non-Dutchman will be at the helm of it all. Coming up, Andrew and Ivan talk about the history of the IVC, its legacy, and what's coming up for it in the future, as well as the beautiful city of s-Hertogenbosch, where it all takes place. Take a look.
Cool, so here we are.
Yes,
here we are on the first day of the 56th edition of the LiedDuo competition, and it's all your vision and your version of it. I come into it on day one as being incredibly excited, kind of nervous. And how do you feel? How was your first one? Because you've done a few of these now.
Well, the first one was still when Annette was there the whole time, so there was a different kind of kind of feeling, and then you are now really here in charge. And for me, the first impression is that I'm here, but more as a spectator than anything else, which comes good for my new job actually.
Yeah, quite.
And but it was it's what was always about this competition. I think what immediately strikes, and I hope it strikes you too, that it's a really good atmosphere, and people like to do it. The team likes to do it. The people are coming very enthusiastically. All the people who are the host families and volunteers, they're wonderful. And I think I've been able to, in the 6 years that I've done it, to change a bit of the feeling about how it has another atmosphere also, as you see now the new poster. We've tried to move it with the times.
Bring it into 2023.
I think so too. And I know I've seen in your interviews that you're also really wanting to do that now. And I think that's a really wonderful thing, to just move things along and try to make it closer to where the public is now.
Yeah, and I also think that the most interesting thing about this is where we are. This city and town, village, whatever one calls it, is so beautiful.
Well, it's a village for UK
it's
people.
It's
a town for the Netherlands.
But it feels, people are very friendly, people talk to each other, people have a real want to see some kind of culture. And I think that the competition brings it to them. I've purposely not heard any of the tapes of the singers or any of the audition already, because I want to go into tomorrow night to hear these voices. I've just heard
I can already promise you they were really good. We've done a good job.
A baritone rehearsing now, thinking, my goodness, that's a classy instrument. It's so exciting. As a singer myself, go, wow, there's some real singing. And that's, I think, what this competition does. It doesn't, unlike some other competitions, where you feel everything is so well schooled, this gives creativity. The artist is allowed to turn up and just have fun and find. Well,
I think it's also important that at this moment now we have, for the first time, a prize for female composers, so that the people who have the best female composer interpretation, that is this part of it. I think the idea of always having an own piece of music specially created for the singers gives another feeling to it. So that's also been something that we have been going on, and I think it's really, really good for everybody. And at the moment, we are now walking towards the theatre where we cannot yet work in.
Yet go in,
but at the moment, we're in the Statenzaal for the semi-finales and the start especially for the LiedDuo.
Yeah,
so I'm very, very excited about that. And tonight also we have it will be opened by a composer, a female composer, and that's the first time we have a composer in the jury. I think for LiedDuo competition, that's a good thing to have
absolutely
somebody who is a bit more.
But also in the opera competition, you introduced a director, which is a really good thing. Because actually, it's no good just having the singers and the impresarios and the intendants.
No.
Let's find somebody who really understands what we're doing here.
And also people who make a choice who have a decision right in things. And so here, it's nice to see for people, that's our new office building. So that's also something I've been proud of to be able to introduce for the competition. For one of the things I can have left, and it's a really, really beautiful space. We're very happy there.
We are. And behind on the other side is the sort of the new Theater
de Prade. The opera oratorio competition, the IVC will be back at the spot.
It's a state-of-an-art theatre. It is absolutely. I was lucky enough to see the plans the other day, and it's absolutely extraordinary.
Fantastic.
We're very lucky in this city to have this, really. And how do you feel what do you feel your legacy will be? I mean, you've sort of mentioned it already. And do you feel that there's things you'd like to have done which you didn't quite get to do?
I think what we've been trying to put up, which was difficult because of the pandemic, was to get a better connection with educational project. But educational projects are not easy. We have now we work together with Huis 73 for this new production Wolf, Leeuw en Zwanen, which I hope will take off and will take vocal classical music to schools.
Yep.
And I think I've made a first move with snappy operas. But I hope that with November Music that might be able, if that's something you want to keep on doing. And I think that working on education is better. And I think that your idea of being more together with the amateur thing, I think, because that's something you really try to do, is going to really make a difference for the IVC.
So, because we have to build an audience as well. So you're amateur, and I've spent a long time working out what is the right word, because amateur for us as professionals sounds a little bit downgraded. So I decided to call them not amateur but enthusiasts. So they have decided they have this enthusiasm, they have the same passion we have. I, as a singer, I have the same passion as they have. They love singing, I love singing, and I love listening to singing. So as long as if we break down the barriers and invite people in, I think we then build a sort of audience for the IVC, because what we are still presenting is the greatest music making possible. We discover these singers, we develop them, and deliver them into the world. And I think that's a really good thing to allow the enthusiasts to come in and have a look at what we're actually doing. And for me, it's all a little bit like sushi. Bear with me for a second. It's the fact if you don't know you like sushi, you have to try it and then you decide. So if we show people what is possible vocally, listening to the greatest singing, getting them involved, seeing what it's about, breaking down the barriers, that we don't become this elitist little thing, I think we're going to have a very good time.
I think that's good too.
The Opera House, of course.
Absolutely. That's also what we have. Of course, we have to break down the barriers because we're getting out of the Opera House.
Exactly.
From June of 24, there will be not an Opera House, and that's a big difference. So that will make, but it will also be for a connection with the public. And what you said about the amateurs, the enthusiasts. The IVC has a very close collaboration with things like Stichting Markant.
Yeah.
And so to also make new enthusiasts to be the singers of the future generations of big events together with the IVC, I think is an important thing to do.
Absolutely. And I also think that we just need to be waving the banner for the IVC. From when I first came in 2018, was your first year, was Annette's last year, and here we are. The baton's been passed on, and we're just going to make it happen.
Yeah, and what I do think is that what you've also said in your interview, what's not been realized is that the IVC is really much. There's still work to do to get the IVC to be known like a real quality place.
Exactly. And also, it's partly, as we know, it's partly the politics in the town, in the city, in the country, in the world. They're being squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and music education is being pushed out of schools. So we have to start from there. In order for the IVC to grow into this big competition, which I think it can be and will be, we need to do all of the other work. And we just need to have people in the town on side. We need the mayor on side, we need the aldermen on side, we need the politicians on side. And they need to value and be proud of what the IVC is doing, which is what we do. We value it and we're very proud of the organisation. And I think that's really important that we keep shouting that until I'm blue in the face.
How is it for a non-Dutchman,
How is it from a non-Dutch?
the first non-Dutch director of the IVC?
Interestingly, I'm learning Dutch on Duolingo at the moment, and my app said this morning, "You've not done any for a day. I don't care if you're going to learn Dutch. It's the app." And so I was on the plane this morning doing a bit of Dutch. It's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't come at it from an administrative education. I'm a performer, an artist, a singer, and I've run companies, but it's always been under my vision, I suppose. So this is sort of what I do. I'm enjoying the Dutch culture. I love Den Bosch. On Saturday, I'm going to see 3 apartments. So get myself a little place here, put a little nest down. I like the people. I find you sit in a bar having a glass of wine or a cup of coffee and someone will come and talk to you, and I'll then talk about the IVC. And we have 3 or 4 ladies I met recently in Den Haag who are coming to see the finals on Sunday because we happen to sit in the bar together. I know there's often a little bit of worry that I don't quite understand the intricacies of the language, but I have a very good team, I have a very good translating app, and I'll do the hours if I need to do it. It's not, I speak French, German, Italian, Spanish, so
no doubt.
It'll be fine. Come. I'm kind of excited by it. Tonight I make my speech in a little bit of Dutch, so we'll see.
As you can see, it's a very exciting year for the IVC. But first, an exciting competition week. We hope you'll join us tomorrow, October 11th at 7 o'clock for the first day of the semifinals here in s-Hertogenbosch. It promises to be an amazing night of music. See you tomorrow.